Hello, good morning everyone. On previous videos we saw how we can create signals with trend changes. On this example we are using an HMA, and these signals, these triangles, are when the slope changes from the upside and to the upside. And also we saw on other examples how to create signals with crossovers of any pair of lines. But we can also change the crossover of lines against the price. Let's say, for example, that we add another HMA a little slower. And now, instead of looking at the cross of the HMAs, we look at the cross of the blue HMA and the price. We have a crossover to the downside, to the upside, downside, upside, and downside. We see that those crosses happens a little early than the signals. So one possible use is use them for closing the position or as a trailing stop. If we want to use those signals, then we need to copy the HMA. It was an HMA of 68. We can place the line over the price. And then we also need the price. So we use the same copy indicator. I will use the close. The default value for the input series is the close, but we can choose from any of the list: high, low, close. If I use the low of the bar, as soon as the bar touches the blue line, it will trigger. But we can see more examples on the following example. Currently I am using the close, so looking when the bar closes below the blue line. I use a very transparent color for the close. And now we use the crossover indicator between the close and the HMA 68. We see that it paints the signals fine. So now we have the calculated signals at the exact place that I draw these arrows. And now we have the setup complete, because we can use the arrows for exit position. On markers, for example, I have to use triangles to enter, a green triangle to enter long, and a red triangle to enter short. And then we can enable the close position which is optional. And exit longs at red arrows. And exit shorts at green arrows. We check the conditions at the bottom right corner. Longs at green triangles, exits at red arrows, shorts at red triangles, and closing that short at green arrows. The exit condition is enabled, and we can enable or disable from the toolbar. Let's review another example where we use a different value. Instead of using the close, we can use more variables. This is the Donchan channel. On the Donchan we can see the tops and bottoms on previous pivots. So on this example we can see that we are breaking above the previous high pivot. But to check those crossovers we need to displace this line. For that we can use the displacement input parameter, which is present in all indicators. So now this indicator is displaced one bar to the right, and then the price can break over the line. If we want to signal those breaks, then we need to copy the Donchan channel using the copy indicator, name it with a name, select the Donchan indicator and the corresponding line, we select the upper. I am using default settings. And we can place the line over the chart, and we see that we are missing the displacement. For that we use the displacement input parameter into the copy indicator, not the visual displacement, because we don't want to display the visual of the line. We want to display the calculated value of the line. On this way we are copying the displaced line, and now both lines are matching, and then we only need to copy the price parameter on this example. I would be using the high. We select the high, we select a almost transparent color, place it over the price, and now we can use the crossover indicator. Between the high and the Donchan. High is the name of the line, and Donch up is the name of the upper Donchan. Now we get upside and downside signals. I only need the upside signals, crossovers to the upside. So we disable the downside crossovers, and we see when the high of a bar is crossing over the blue line, we get a signal. This is an example where we can play with the line to copy. Instead of using the high, we can use the close or even the low. If the close of this bar is not over the blue line, then we don't get a signal. For example, when we copy the price, instead of using the high, let's say we use the close, then we should get less signals. Now we are missing one signal, and the worst case is using the low, because on this example all the bar must be over the blue line. Only this bar is all over the previous high pivot. We can do the same now for the lower Donchian, so we get short signals. Okay, thank you everyone. I hope this has been useful for you. If you have any question or comment, please post below this video. Thank you, bye bye.